move it down.
Oops, sorry, I got it. Okay. Thank you, Mr. Toastmaster, fellow members and guests. My name is Troy Schmidt, and just wanted to give you a little bit of introduction about me and who I am. So I grew up on the west side of town. I grew up in a small town called Maple Plain. I don't know if any of you've heard of that before, but I went to Orono High School back in the day, and some of my hobbies were hunting, fishing, hockey, and football. Played football at Orono and was all state, played college football a little bit, but the hobby that I'm going to talk to you more about today is my fishing. I really loved fishing. So back when kids were asking their parents, take me to Disneyland or take me to Disney World, take me down to Florida, I was asking my parents, take me up north, let me go to a resort. I want to go fishing all day long. So my brother and I would go up to these resorts and we'd be in the lake from sun up to sundown, occasionally swimming, but what I was always trying to do was trying to fish. My parents ended up moving to Arizona when I had turned 19, so I was back home quite a bit, or back up in college, and didn't really have anywhere to go, so I spent a lot of time fishing with my college buddies as well. And then the love of my life, you see her, Amy, right there. She and I were high school sweethearts. We went away to college together, and we were fortunate enough to go on a trip to Mazatlan with her family one time. This here's a 140-pound marlin that I caught. I don't know if any of you have ever been to Mazatlan or been able to go do that, but it was a fun experience. We started out early in the morning. We were in the good part of Mazatlan, and we had to drive to the marina. And it was a foggy day, and we get to this marina, and you barely see the ships in the marina, and you can see all these beautiful ships. And has anybody here seen the movie Jaws? All right?
Yeah.
And you see that one boat that you're like, oh, that's not the boat. Sure enough, that was the boat that we had to go in. And so we're on our way out fishing, and you're getting further and further away from land. And fortunate enough for me, I've got a pretty good stomach. The other three, not so much. So that was the only fish we caught that day. It was mine because I was the only one that was able to reel it in because the other three were too busy throwing up. So that was one of them. This is an experience that I have up on Rainy Lake. I get to go up there every single year and do a lot of fishing. And if you're ever fortunate enough to do a fly-in trip up in Canada, by all means do that. That's one of the best trips that I've ever had. Besides, up there with my dad and my father-in-law and a bunch of other friends, high school friends as well. And this here is a 40-inch northern that I caught earlier this year in the ice, so up on Lake Mille Lacs. So, but then, as times go on, things change, right? And this happens to you. So the family comes along. So now I don't get to fish as much as I possibly can, but I still try to get out as much as possible. So in the middle there's my wife, Amy, and then my son Cole, who's 7. My daughter over there, she's 4, Callie, and then my youngest son, who's 15 months, his name's Landon, we'll call him LP for short. But so now I'm trying to do the yeoman style here, trying to teach them, how to become fishermen as well. It's been a great experience for me being able to take them out and going to different resorts ourselves. So you can see a few of the pictures here. My son up in the right-hand corner was fortunate enough to catch his very first walleye at the age of 4. Not too many kids are able to do that at that age, and so we do that quite a bit. And my daughter and I up on Rainy Lake fishing, and my wife up on Rainy Lake as well. My father-in-law became my best fishing buddy, after the kids came, because my wife obviously was home with the kids and wasn't able to do that. So he and I used to take a lot of time off of work or skip out. He'd call me up and say, hey, you want to take cookie day today? Yeah, let's do this. Let's go out, go to Lake Minnetonka. Let's go do some fishing, or let's go up to Mille Lacs and do some of that. And then about 3 years ago, unfortunately, he ended up passing, so he's no longer with us. So now I'm trying to take my oldest. He and I were just up on Mille Lacs last weekend, did some ice fishing together, and just having a really good time, fishing together. Some other things. Here's a few other walleyes. Walleye fishing, I don't know if anybody knows about it, but a trophy fish is either considered 28 inches or bigger. I normally consider 38 inches, or 30 inches or bigger is what I normally consider as a trophy fish. I've been fortunate enough to catch 2 of those, two over 30 inches in my time. So a lot of my friends are always picking on me saying that I've got the horseshoe, right? I've got 2 of them, and none of them have even caught one over 30 inches so far. So, but most of all, I just wanted to show you a little bit about my hobbies. what's important to me. Obviously, my family is my number one priority, and I'm hoping to be able to teach them some of the hobbies that I've enjoyed too. So, thank you for your time.